Hello and welcome back to my channel. The countdown, I guess, is a better way of me preparing foods for the Virginia Garlic Festival's VIP booth and also our Saturday evening dinner for close family, friends, and volunteer crew people. Today was a big run to grocery shop, and I got as much stuff as I possibly could at Costco to put in the freezer and be able to do some of these other things. Yesterday I made a couple of pumpkin cakes and I got the chickpeas all ready, and today I'm going to make some hummus for a whole lot of people. We're talking about making hummus for about probably 60 people or more. So that's why I have a giant bowl of chickpeas. Now you can do this with canned chickpeas, but my hummus I make with dried chickpeas. I just think the quality is superior. There's nothing easier to make than hummus, and I love it because you can make it ahead of time. I'm actually going to put this in a big, huge gallon bag and freeze it, and that way it'll be all set and ready to go. I'll just have to thaw it out. Let's take a look at what we need to make this hummus. So for every 4 cups of chickpeas, I'm going to use at least the juice of 1 lemon. I'm going to use some olive oil. It's going to be about maybe a half a cup of olive oil. The secret sauce is the tahini. If you are going to make a lot of hummus or you just want to have a great tahini, I strongly recommend going to an Indian store or a Middle Eastern grocery store because you're going to get a much better deal. Although you can find tahini in grocery stores, it's going to cost you a whole lot more. All right, and then I like to use cumin and salt and pepper. So those are the simple ingredients. Oh, I left out something very important. Garlic. I put a lot of garlic in my hummus. If you find a garlic that's squishy like this, just don't use it. First thing you're going to do is peel your garlic. I'm using approximately 1 to 2 garlic cloves per cup of chickpeas. Next thing you're going to do is juice that lemon. Here's your tahini. When you open it, it's going to have to be stirred because it is separated. And tahini is just crushed up sesame seeds. It's like sesame butter. I'm just going to pop in garlic. And I'm just going to chop that up. Now let's put in about 4 cups of chickpeas. Okay. I'm going to add a little bit of salt. Let me go ahead and shake some pepper in. Not too much. You just want a little bit of flavor on that. Let's go ahead and just grind these up. At this point, I would scrape down the sides, and we're going to put in the olive oil, and we're going to put in the lemon juice, and we're going to put in the sesame, the tahini. This is a half a cup measure. I'm going to start with a half a cup. It's really kind of about the texture as well as the flavor. Start with half a cup. Let's see where that gets us. You can add in a little bit of water if you want to thin it out. Here comes the cumin. I'm going to use about a teaspoon, well, more like a teaspoon and a half, maybe a little bit more. Okay, let's take a look here. Taste is always the best way to determine whether it's right. Just going to take a little bit. That's just about right. It's lemony. It's creamy enough for me. If I wanted it to be a little bit thinner, I could add some more water, or maybe just a little bit more olive oil. It's so good for you. Chickpeas, olive oil, salt, lemon. What's not to like? If you're going to freeze your hummus, be aware that the salt and the spices will intensify. So I don't usually put as much in it when I'm going to freeze it. If I was going to serve this right away, I'd feel free to add a little bit more in to taste, really. Now, this is going to be served as part of a Mediterranean plate. This will be done with our dry white wines, and there'll be some dolma, stuffed grape leaves there. I don't make those. I have my secret source in Baltimore that I get those from. It'll have some marinated artichoke hearts, some olives, a little bit of fresh vegetable, pita, and maybe some feta cheese. And that will go with our dry white wines, our Chardonnay, our Viognier, our dry white, and also the Pinot Grigio. Let's go ahead and bag this up. So I have a huge, big bag to put in the freezer of hummus. Hummus for a crowd. Now, if you're not making hummus for a crowd, you can use the same recipe. However, if you make it in bulk, you can divide it up into smaller bits, and you always have something you can pull out of the freezer if guests pop in, or if you just want to have it on your sandwiches or on your salad, but you don't want a whole massive amount, which freezes great. In the fridge, it'll last for about a week, maybe a little bit longer, but it never lasts that long in my house. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. The next thing I'm going to do today is make a caponata to freeze.